my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Oh, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Paul, Spheric Reptiles, and I'm so glad to be coming to you on Thanksgiving morning. I know that you'll see this video on Sunday, but we have just now had our 5th clutch, which further proves why, if you don't have an ultrasound, you might want to consider getting one, because we would have missed this ovulation or this pairing if we didn't have it. What we've paired up is a Batman or a leopard spot nose clown male to a phantom cinnamon female. And you can already see what we're expecting to get. And I'll just start with the female: phantom cinnamon, spot nose leopard, het clowns, right? So as you know from our very first clutch that we made, that we named after Persis, from my cousin's wife, Jamaica. It's like a sister to me. We went after the Phantom project because I really like the way Phantom, you know, kind of lightens up that side pattern, and, you know, it just really highlights a lot of the pattern. So we're trying to see what we can do with that as one of our projects. So that was one of our beginning projects, and I just didn't want to get away from it. But we got eggs today, man. We got eggs on Thanksgiving, and I'm still sleepy. I haven't even had a full cup of coffee. In fact, it's sitting on the coffee table. So without anything else, I'll just get right into it. What I got is, I got our animal right here, and I got a tub that I've kind of pre-weighed. Let me turn it the right way. So what I do is always try to pre-weigh the tub that I'm putting them in, so that way everything goes smoothly. And this one weighs 1,052 grams. So after I remove her from her eggs, I'll be able to put her inside of this and get a weight, an empty weight, so I can see a baseline as to how she compares to before or when I first paired her up. I don't really weigh the animals a lot when they are developing follicles, because I don't want to disturb them. What I do is, I use the ultrasound instead of doing to measure the follicle growth. And I can look at that follicle growth, and over time just kind of see what those incremental growths are based on how many eggs she's laid. So if she laid 6 eggs and they increase 10 millimeters, I can actually average that out to the end weight from where she is and just kind of play with those numbers. Not that that's necessarily something that you would want to do, but it works for me, right? That's the nerdy thing that allows, you know, you can get into Excel spreads and do all this thing. But anyway, this is Pink. So it's been so long since I've actually did anything with her. You know, she went through her pre-lay shed around October the 15th. And so I estimated that she would lay around the 11th, but she laid on the 28th. So that means that all of the other numbers I had were right for ovulation, but the pre-lay shed was delayed and the laying was weighed. But you can see that on this card right here. You can see up in the top portion where I have my estimates and then the actuals. So I'll just remove this lid first and see how I'm going to get her off of her eggs. Looks like she has 7 eggs. And now I will be able to see by feeling her if she's empty. And I don't feel anything else in her. Nope, she feels all the way empty. So if you can get a picture of Pink, here how she looks without the eggs inside of her. And of course, I've already pre-weighed this, so I will put this on top just so that she stays calm. And now we can actually look at the eggs. You can see the orientation of them. And I can look here, I see that there's veins there. There's veins in that one. Strong veins in that one. Strong veins in this one, but I need to try to get this one turned a different way. Veins in that one. Veins in that one. And veins in that one. So we got 7 viable eggs as I turn the lights back on. Sit this right on top to see how much she weighs. And it says she weighs 2408. She's now at 1,203 grams. Still in a safe range as far as eating and picking weight back up. Of course, she'll probably be off until next June. So that gives her enough time to recover and then we'll start pairing her up again. That's one of the benefits of using the ultrasounds and recording everything, is that you get to chart. And so I know about when to start pairing her, maybe in May, maybe in June, maybe in July, but I'll use the ultrasound to see where she's at, and then we'll just go from there. Now it's time to start putting the eggs in the egg box. So what I will use is I will use this smaller egg box that I have. Of course, I got 2 different sizes. I didn't know what size clutch she would lay, but being the first time mom, I was kind of thinking the smaller one, so that's what I went with. Of course, I have this set up right here. I already have my straws because I've been anticipating this. So I have my straws, and I have my water that has been kept in the incubator. This is just distilled water, and it's at 90 degrees. So that way, if any gets on the eggs right now, it won't shock them. But what I will do is mark the tops of these. And for this one that's sitting straight up, I'm going to have to, I'll go ahead and move these over. So when you're peeling them, you can just roll them aside. And that's why I mark the tops, so that I can be sure to pay attention to where they are. Man, this is the most valuable part, right? For me, at least. Animals have did their job, so now it's my job to make sure that everything else that I can possibly do goes well. For this egg, I'm going to try to find out where the veins actually are, where the strongest parts of the veins are. And it looks like, I don't know if you can get close enough to see that, but it looks like a lot of the veins are running up that way. So I will mark this as a top, and then just really make sure to pay close attention to it. I'll do, since I've already candled them, I will go through and mark this. I'll put a T on the top so I know that it's that egg, because inevitably these eggs, I will rotate these around as I'm looking at them in the incubator. So I'll put a plus sign on this one to make sure that it has every chance to go through the process of laying successfully. I'll just reshift these over some. And you've seen this method, right? And I want to give out a shout out to Matt Shiflett for showing me this idea and explaining it to me in detail through messaging, as well as a shout out to Will with Flawless Exotics for giving me some more confidence that this is something that works, since this is what he uses. And again, guys, the reason I do this is because I have allergies. And perlite and vermiculite and all that stuff just does not do well with me. And so when I heard of the idea, that's what really got me going and thinking, yeah, this is something that I probably should at least try. And I just put these straws in there to keep the eggs from rolling. Not that they'll be rolling around a lot anyway, but I want to make them as secure as possible. That's enough right there, right? Yeah. I got them all secured in there. Put one right there. All right, so now that I have that, I have this water that I'll just pour down the sides. I normally put like 1.5 bottles, but you know, I just bring extra just in case. And the one that I don't open, or the one that I do open, I just put it back in the incubator. And I have 2 15-quart tubs of water already in the incubator. Let me look down the side. I can pour the rest of this one in there. That's it. That's my medium for my substrate for my eggs. I just use a diffuser egg crate that I got from Lowe's. You can get it from Home Depot or wherever. I use the straws, and I use 1-ounce deli cups to secure it. And I used a styrofoam cutter to poke the holes in the deli cups. So, and I sit these on here, and I put them in there, and I mark on this 55 days. So I'll put an estimated hatch date on here. and on this card, and then that way I know on my calendar, and I set an alert on my phone so that I know exactly when these will hatch. I don't put the incubator cards off any incubator with them because this is just our 5th clutch. It's not like I'm going to lose count of which one is which, right? But I will mark a number 5 on this one because this is pivotal for us to actually have 5 clutches laid this year, when if we would have went by last year's standards, we would have only been just now pairing up and we wouldn't have any eggs now. So the last step, I don't want to forget that. I never do, but I normally have to go back and edit this portion, is the placement of the saran wrap, right? Or press and seal or whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. Put this press and seal right over the top. I probably shouldn't be as careful with it. I know that they're going into a humid environment that's right at around 80 to 85% humidity. So, all right, so now I'll get a lid too. And this is the final step in the process. It's pretty cool. That's that. The very last thing, because I do have 2 in there, I'll just put like a little smiley face on this one. So I know my smiley face is no good, but that way I know it's number 5. And, you know, that's what we got. So, hey guys, I thank you so much for watching this. This was so exciting for us to have this clutch. Hopefully the time will go by pretty fast. I really talked about a lot of the things that we use as Spheric Reptiles to help us move along and be more efficient at what we do according to our business plan, which included getting the ultrasound so that we can actually see when our females are going to be right for pairing and then ultimately ovulation and laying eggs. But also the setup of our egg box, which I am a big advocate of, because for every egg box that you create out of perlite or vermiculite, you would have to discard that afterwards. You can't reuse it. Whereas the water can be used afterwards. What I do is I take all of our water that we use, whether it's throwing out rats or this, and I pour it on our plants, right? So, and I pour it inside of our bioactive enclosures. That way, and we got isopods and everything else. So that way, the water that I'm using goes to further use because now it's organic material, and those, you know, springtails and isopods can break that stuff down, as well as our plants that are outside and inside. They can utilize that water as well, better than, say, traditional tap water. So without anything else, guys, I got a washed up mommy, Pink. She did a great job. But hey, guys, I'm really, really excited about this stuff. And I hope that this type of content appeals to you, especially if maybe you're thinking about breeding ball pythons, or you already do, and you just want to see someone else that's fired up about it. That's me. I really enjoy this. So like I always say, enjoy that time that you spend with your reptiles. Eat a lot of turkey today, or ham, or whatever you eat. And definitely cherish that time that you have with your families. Thank you.